I oh the power of the dark side is an illness no true Sith would wish to be cured of. Hello, how is everyone doing today? Let's go on the Sith. Can I get some Sith lo-fi? Posed on Sunday. Oh man, it's been a long day, hasn't it? Or a long 2 days. Um, you across the stars. I guess that should. Again, hello to everyone. Hello. Wow, we got a lot of people today. I should bring up the chat here. Can I like crop the chat? Okay, browser. So you go to window capture. Oh, boomer and this stuff. Okay. There you go. Let's see it now. Okay, and then I crop. How you crop? Damn it. Give me a second, people. I want to try to crop this. Bear with me. You know what? I'm just gonna put it over here. Or put it in the corner right here where I can see it. All right, there you go. So, hello to everyone who has watched the Plagueis movie and then want to join in and ask some questions. This is the time to ask questions. Ask me about my process, why I thought I did what I did. Now, I'm going to say this. For people thinking part 2 is going to come out tomorrow, you can stop that thinking because I have not started on it. And if not, I believe if I start on it now, I'm thinking it'll be around December, January it comes out. So y'all gotta be sit tight and be patient. We are starting on it. So don't ask me about episode 2. Don't ask me when it's coming out. You will know when it's coming out because I don't give release dates to my stuff because then people because sometimes there's delays, and I wanted to release this last week, but the music wasn't done and some voice lines weren't done, so we had to wait another week on top of a week to get out. So I missed the Acolyte. I was going to release this after the end of the Acolyte. Didn't pan out. Would I liked it to be right after the Acolyte? Definitely. That was my goal. But I think it's good. It's still pumping now. So let's read some of the chat here. Do you think Disney will take into account the book and create all right, I'm gonna stop there. They had the chance with Acolyte. They're not gonna create any Star Wars thriller or whatever. Andor is the closest thing to a thriller. I don't care what they do at this point. They already butchered Star Wars with their god awful series, so I don't care about what they want to do. Darth Bane series. Who will take the helm and establish the role too? I said this last stream, and if people don't know, I'm not doing a Darth Bane series. I'm gonna do a video that was in the works. That was what I said I was planning to do. There will be a video. So people expecting that. That's on the queue. So great work on the Plagueis video. Thank you, Luke. Darth Tenebris and his hot Twi'lek master. Hello there, Ancient Sith. Chris Schober. So when does Darth Plagueis episode 2 begin? Oh, it'll be 10 years after. If any of people have not read the book, it's supposed to be 10 years. In the chapter at the end of Plagueis, he actually says 10 years and not more. I cut that out because I kind of felt it was, I liked it ending it off where he's reflecting and we are architects of the future, without telling him exactly an estimate, because it flows more better. But yeah, it's going to be 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, I already answered about episode 2 and 3. Don't ask when they're coming out. You will know when they're coming out. I absolutely love the movie you made. Thank you, Evil Musics. In part 2, will you add your own scenes that were in the novel? Actually, yes. There's a scene with Qui-Gon and Dooku that's not in the novel. I'm adding that to make... we're going to reference some other novels without really showing them. There's also going to be some scenes... Shmi Skywalker... some people will say, well, why are you adding scenes to a Plagueis? Well, it's alluded to. I think people would like to see what's going on with Shmi Skywalker, because she's kind of the hidden third protagonist. Besides, there's actually 4 protagonists of the Plagueis, part 2 and maybe part 3. Well, part 2 is mainly Palpatine's story. Part 3 is Palpatine's story. Plagueis takes a backseat near the end of his own story. Part 2 is there's a lot of political machinations and stuff, but there's actually 4 protagonists in part 2, and that is Shmi Skywalker and Qui-Gon Jinn. Actually, no, we'll have to see. But I really want to. Actually, no, not Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's more of a special guest character like Dooku, because they have like their own point of views and stuff, but it's nothing major. I would say Shmi Skywalker is planned to have a bigger part in part 2. She's the slaver girl, and pretty much it's how she comes into Gardulla's possession. Gardulla has a bigger role, obviously, if you read the book. So that's what the plan is right now. So yes, Qui-Gon and Dooku have a bigger role in part 2 than they do in the book. And it's... how is your workload? Do you have the help you need? I do everything myself with the voice actors. People need to know that voice actors, some people help me with scripts. This I did all by myself. Pretty much all I did was I took the audiobook audio as reference, and then I had the voice actors just dub over the scenes, and then I trimmed the scenes to... So originally this is all audiobook voices. This is undoubtedly the unabridged, mostly the unabridged version of the book, minus some cut to some exposition, which I wasn't thinking was working. There's a lot of exposition in the there actually is a lot of exposition in the book that kind of just goes on and on. I cut a lot of that down. I also condensed a lot of the monologues, like the monologue where Plagueis tells his so-called backstory to Palpatine, is really cut down from the book, because it does go on and on. But the voice actor tried to do his best to make it. Because I was trying. That scene originally was supposed to be like the tragedy of Darth Plagueis with Anakin, where he's trying to. He's explaining his manipulations. He's manipulating by telling this backstory. That's kind of the whole point of that scene. But funny enough, originally the way it was, you see how it's like ink sketched and stuff, and how interesting that looks. That originally wasn't my idea. It was mainly just Palpatine and Plagueis just looking at each other while he tells his story. And then I watched this Warhammer. Machinima, which is made in SFM, and the director, he rotoscoped like ink sketches onto the Warhammer in the first half. That's supposed to represent like PTSD or something. And I tried to replicate that look because I loved it so much, and it's supposed to be like a dreamlike black and white flashback. So, the interesting thing about Plagueis' flashback, what was the workload? Yeah, I basically completed this 2 months ago, and the rest is just waiting for voice lines and editing and music composing. If you want to know about the workload, I finished this around early June. The way it was filmed, like everything filmed, the core story was filmed from March to June after I did the Tenebrous video. So that's pretty much the workload. Pretty much audio voice lines as reference, voice actors, they do the lines. I go with the voice actors. We discuss what to change if there needs to be changed. Then they send me the voice lines. I add the voice lines, do trimming, boom, on to the next part. And this is made in parts. So a lot of the... so you need to know this is cobbled together. This movie was made in order. So you could tell from some voice performances get better. Like Plagueis' voice, I was still trying to fix the pitch of... from the beginning of the story, and you could tell that his pitch was kind of correct. The way he talks was pretty much final, but I still had to go back and edit some voice acting. Like the Woe Begone was the last thing done, actually. So surprisingly, it was the last thing I did major editing wise, because some of the voice actors were sick. One was sick, and she wasn't. And she finally got in the lines, and we got that covered. Love you, Thea. I hope you're getting better if you're listening in. Just found your channel. Oh, thank you. I would prefer it. They were faithful to the source material. Yeah, I didn't want to change anything. Just a duty. Sent you an email. Check it out. I'll check it out. What email? Plagueis and editing. Post-production. I'll look into this. Thank you for I'll look into that. Just a duty. That's an interesting thing. We'll have to look at it. Yeah. Just know I do the editing. The stuff I want to fix is some of the color correction and whatnot. I couldn't figure out the life of me the color, but I think it came out well. Would I have liked to? I think I should have edited some of the colors in the ship because they were kind of dull. Like added like maybe some bloom or something. But all right, let's double A. I seen your recent video. Oh, I just realized that... I'm sorry, I just realized that for some reason it's not showing the chat. Wonder if I could fix that. It's a white box in the corner. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, that was right. I'm an idiot. No, let's put that back where it was. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Bum, bum, bum. So help me, so help me. Okay. So, just a duty. If they literally would do the book copy paste in the screenwriting people, that's what I basically did. Now, it is now it's not a good idea to just take the whole book like text to text and do it. Uh, Obviously there could be some issues with that. That's why you gotta trim it down. Just trim down the dialogue, you know. And sometimes book dialogue is made to be exposition-y on purpose to, you know, uh, uh, do you think George will come back? No. That answers any question. That answers that quickly. I just rewatched your Plagueis episode 1. I'm glad you liked it. Bruce Marine maybe says how to contact you with my Sidious voice acting. As I'm glad you want to voice Sidious. Chosen Clone is playing the role. I'm sorry. We have some voice actors already, so we don't need a casting call or anything. Yeah, if you want a voice actor, if you want to voice act, go on Casting Call Club. But oh, I will say, hold on, someone's barking. Got a dog in the background. All right, let me go back to reading that. Sorry, Risk Mermaid. Like, look for projects like Lego stuff, or there's always some cast and call looking for Star Wars voices. But have you ever used the Galactic Legacy mod? It's the same. Okay, Galactic Legacy. It's the same thing as Movie Duels. They just have more NPC options and maps. Nothing against their mod. I kind of prefer Movie Duels because there's Movie Duels has a better variety of gameplay, combat animations, you know, and now they have a new renderer. I mean, Galactic Legacy has the new renderer. So when I do Plagueis Part 2, you'll see it's it's better looking than it used to be because of the renderer and how it fixes a lot of the lighting. Ren 2, it looks amazing. A lot of normal maps and PBR. Would be good in creative story if Lucasfilms ever had the brain to do so, to see the origins of Anakin. Yeah, I would have liked to see more Shmi Skywalker and her whole backstory. It's pretty interesting. They don't go into too much depth ever about Anakin. I don't know. Will we see Plagueis kill a Jedi? I don't think he kills any Jedi in the book. Well, no, he doesn't kill any Jedi in the book. Acolyte. Are you gonna show when Plagueis goes to the prospect? Oh yeah, the prospects. I removed those. Okay, so I removed. This is not fully adapted from the Plagueis book. There's 2 chapters I didn't adapt. I didn't adapt the chapters involving what's them called? Well, Venomous was looking for apprentices because he was going to take up Tenebrous' mantle. He didn't know about Plagueis, or I think he knew about Plagueis, but Plagueis goes on a quest with 11-4D to kill the apprentices, and as cool as that sounds, it kind of detracts from the main story. It's kind of like a side story. Before, although there is a scene with a soothsayer that kind of foreshadows his Plagueis' fate, which is kind of the only major thing I could remember from this these two chapters. Other than that, I might make it a side story video. I was thinking maybe a director's cut with those two in, but it kind of just detracts from the flow of the story. Nothing against Lucino, but I think those two chapters were kind of extravagant. Extravagance is more to give Plagueis, you know, since basically episode 1 is the Plagueis movie, as in it focused solely on him. It's his point of view. Part 2 and 3 have Palpatine as the second main character now, so he has his point of view, and so and forth. Also, while I did enjoy the scene in the book where Plagueis was investigating other Force sensitives, it made sense. Yeah, it made sense to cut it out. I was going to do it, but I was like, am I pushing myself? Just finished the movie. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. By the way, I loved that when Palpatine was on his knees, she did the exact cover of the book. Yes. Yes, I did. What did you use to edit? Vegas Pro. I use Vegas Pro. I always use Vegas Pro. I kind of wanted to render in 4K, but it would have took forever to upload. So, and I might like upscale. If I do a director's cut, I'm gonna upscale it for sure with like some topaz or something. So, thank you, Kyle. I'm excited for episode 2. I can't see what is episode 2 and 3 going to have some cool. There's some cool scenes in. I'll say this. Well, I'm not going to spoil. If you've not read the book, don't read the book, or don't, because you're going to get spoiled eventually. If you've not read the book, Plagueis, again, this is for. But I just love the incredible job you did. Thank you, Luxian. Thomas Tenma. Episode 1 was amazingly done, and I cannot wait to see episode 2. It's a shame that not all the old novels were like this who don't read it. Yeah, I would like to... Oh, it's Funny Hatter. So, is chapter 2 going to tackle how Plagueis introduced the power of one? The power of 2? The power of many? By the way, guys, Funny Hatter, who just donated $5, he's the voice of Senator Pax's team, the Grand Senator in the movie. So, he does some tremendous work. The electorate! The electorate would take over with the Senate, or what? Okay, episode 1 was amazingly done, and I cannot wait to see episode 2. It's a shame that not all the old novels were. Sirius Muter. Oh, there's also Sirius in the chat. With Duncan. Sirius. Oh. Okay, I'm back. So, Sirius is actually the voice of half of the supporting characters in the movie. Sirius voices Darth Tenebris. He voices King Tapalo, doing an impression of Sean Connery. He voices 11-4D. He voices the Sun Guards, and he voices the Gossam. So he put so much... in fact, he volunteered to do the whole voice cast and in the way of the audiobook. Obviously, he's a great help with the supporting cast. He's just a great audiobook voice actor and whatnot. So yeah, get it up for Sirius, who's in the chat. Duncan, Loxius, incredible book. Thank you, Greg B. Nicely done. Bro, do you code the game using Galactic Legacy mod? No, I use Movie Duels. Thank you for the work. I love episode 2 better than Acolyte. Thank you. Where did you find the guy to be Kozinga's guard? Oh, so Tico. You voiced the role, my friend. Does Movie Duels allow you to move the characters freely in the map? Yes. Yes, I use some camera techniques, but yeah, that's pretty much how the game works. There are some things where I have to use green screen to give an illusion that characters are together. But as much as I would have loved to see Plagueis kill a Jedi, he never does. Yeah, he never kills a Jedi. He's basically what a real Sith would be like, where he has another person kill another person, but it does go back to him. Can't wait for Qui-Gon, Sifo Dyas, and Dooku. I can't wait either. Luke, I've been working on a machinima series adapting some of Tolkien's work. Any general advice? Things like editing, how to structure it. You should, with Tolkien, that's interesting. Really, you want to, because everyone structures their own things differently. I see the way my editing is just the way I do it. Sometimes if I have music, I like to structure things around the music. In this case, I actually use no music at all, and I just use the audiobook. And then Max Cashnow, who does the score, he did the music. He did the music for in my case. So if a Sith that does kill his arch enemy is sad. Marksuit XP Cool Adaption, thank you. Watched the entire episode and enjoyed it highly, but I noticed in between. Yeah, John Alcatraz. It's just a little glitch. I missed a shot trimming. So yeah, people can just ignore that little shot. Will we get anything in the future with Ancient Sith separate from Darth Plagueis? Darth Revan, maybe. I'm gonna do a Revan, or I'm gonna do something with Darth Bane soon. So yeah, just the Darth. So funny adders quote, and then Chris Stober says the Star Wars The Acolyte Season 1 was a disaster dumpster fire. I agree. And did you know that Leslie Headland talked to? I don't want Acolyte Season 2. I think the more we think about Acolyte, the more we feel hatred. So I don't think we should just stop talking about Acolyte. If you stop talking about it, it won't come out. Like, hate watching does the opposite effect. Russ Mermaid, I love all your works. Thank you. KJ, that was amazing. Thank you. Sotico, my eyes are version to the Acolyte. Never watched it and never will. How much love, brother? How much? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Need a bigger role for episode 2. I'll try to get that. I'm never watching Acolyte ever again. Gave it a chance. Hated the ending. I'm never watching it either. Thanks for all the works you did for this. Gotta go. Thank you, Just to Duty. I'm glad you were came join. We'll talk more about your proposal. If you
not in a super.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Super
But if also, will we see the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Restraining Order? You know, the story where he watches a muscular Smilo Ren skinny dip. A Sith needs to hate so much. A Sith needs to hate, so talk about Acolyte. Anything to do with Bane and Revan, hit me up. Of course. Charles, Pierre, this was amazing. Thank you. Darkside Art says, are there any plans or benefits with you working on Star Wars Theory on future projects. We just don't want you to burn yourself out. We need true. I don't burn myself out. Again, I finished this back in June, the editing part. The rest of it was just waiting for voice lines, and I moved, so there was also a delay there. But now everything's good. I'm gonna take a break, and then I'm actually getting started on Plagueis Part 2 soon. I'm kind of excited that I'm kind of like happy I did this. So on your questions of Star Wars Theory, they'll have to be seen. They'll have to be fans fun. The Star Wars Theory, we'll see. He did this for fun. He played Venomous. If he wants to do more, I'm down. But again, it's a fan thing for the fans. So I want people of anyone that wants to be part of this. I'll try to get them in there. Would you introduce the canon version of Luke Skywalker? What? Would you introduce the canon? That's isn't the same person who voiced Maul in Endgame voicing him this too? Yes, Sonam's gonna voice Maul. Of course he's gonna voice Maul. I won't pick anyone else. Would you introduce the canon version of Luke in your Darth Plagueis or any other projects? I don't know. I think, personally, people are going to hate me for saying this. I'm kind of I did Revitalized. If people haven't seen my Revitalized short story, I should finish at least a couple more episodes and then wrap that up. I kind of feel like the OT is being overdone. I mean, Darth Angela. I was gonna do Hair of the Empire before some. See, I wasn't gonna do Plagueis. I wasn't gonna do this movie, and then I did the Tenebrous short video, and everyone liked that. And then everyone liked that and said, "Why don't you do the whole book?" I think people were literally daring me, like, do the whole book. Or I don't think they were expecting me to do the whole book. And I did the whole first act. This is the first quarter of the book. This is the first act 1, chapters 1 to 10. Well, of course, I think you can adapt anything if you put your mind to it. You just, if you have action figures, you can do it. If you have clay figures, you can do it. Whatever you want, you can do it. You just need to do it. You need to have that drive, but you need to do it the right way. I don't think there's you need to do it the right way, but not all projects like mine. I know my animation has limitations, but I think people don't care. I think they like the story and the voice acting. So, old PS2 PC looking graphics doesn't matter to them. There's a lot of heart if you have a lot of heart in it. But that, I don't think the same way of everything. Some people, I've seen some comments already that are negative, that say this is trash, and a couple dumb comments. Everyone's been mainly positive and friendly to me, but seeing some people saying that this is boring or whatever, and I really want to tell some of these people, man, go back to Acolyte if you feel inclined. Maybe they're just they're just sad. They have sad lives that they have to bash my stuff. They'll never make anything good in their life, so it's one of those sad things you can't deal with. How long will episode 2 take? I'm not going to answer that. 67 to 65. Yes, that's the timeline right now. Tornox says, amazing job. I'm going to watch it again tonight with my dad tonight. Thank you. I hope he enjoys it. The Mandalorian Wars, Jedi Civil War, please. I enjoyed Darth Plagueis episode 1 very much. I will watch the entire book should you be inclined to make it. Yes. Yes. I'm glad you liked it. Will we get the part of the book where Plagueis almost gets assassinated? That's in the book. So what's in the book is going to go on screen. Actually, no. I'm wrong. Some things in the book aren't going to get on screen. I was reading some of Act 2. There is a lot of too much like political machinations that people might be bored with. I'm gonna try to cut that down a bit, just so the story flows better. Again, you can only have so much detail on something. I mean, see, I cut down a whole chapter of Plagueis' backstory with Tenebris to just a couple second scene, and it still gives you the full. Like, if you read the book and then you watch the scene, and this is my opinion, I'm fonding on my own work, so take it for as you will. Tenebris is like Phantom Menace speech, and then you hear Plagueis' father. That kind of just sums up that whole backstory that was those like 5 pages of Plagueis, that Plagueis chapter. So a lot of people feel that's condensed enough, and that gives them the whatnot. Let me go back up there. My only criticism is that there is too long pauses in between dialogue. Long pauses? There were long pauses? I'm trying to think. Are you like thinking of the establishing shots? Long pauses. You need to know that a lot of the dialogue is just to the audiobook, so a lot of the so-called pauses are the same as the audiobook. I don't know what you mean by pauses. You mean like the silence? I thought the characters were pretty rapid in I think the characters were pretty rapid in talking. Now you have to make conversations natural in this, and obviously there's a lot of when there's a long pause, like in the Woebegone scene where there's a part where Captain Law, there's some silence with Captain Law before she goes to see Plagueis, or before they get killed. That's supposed to be suspenseful. Because the whole vibe was that Captain Elam Law is the only one who feels that Plagueis is actually a dangerous being, and she was right about that whole thing. I don't know. In The Last Jedi Revitalized, I can understand the pauses. There was a lot of weird. If I could go back and edit Last Jedi Revitalized, I would probably trim a lot of the scenes down. I think that's what you mean by long pauses. So, I agree. I like the older animation stuff. It has a certain piece of soul to it. The voice acting is also really good for a fan-made product. Thank you. I loved this machinima. This was so dope, and I can't wait. Thank you. Darth Gravid has a green and red. A1 has an orange. Who is the Sith? Your janky CGI was way better than Acolyte. Thank you. Revan had red, purple. Jedi. Just finish it. Magnificent. Thank you, Edward. I noticed you left a bunch of things out, like his walk to the spaceport. His walk to the spaceport? He goes... his walk to the spaceport? Oh, you mean the part in Baldemic? The whole opening was him going to the spaceport. You're talking about the Baldemnik scene? That's him going to the spaceport. He's traversing. It was like the whole thing was him traversing the wilderness, and then you got the opening. I missed the shot where he's supposed to be in that blizzard, but still, same thing. He's supposed to be in that blizzard. There was supposed to be green screen where he's like trying to get through the wind. I forgot to add that in. I also messed up. There's a lot of errors and mistakes, but that's the charm. Sometimes I miss a spot. When I think something's finalized, it's not finalized, and I can't fix it now, but, you know. Oh, space. You mean all. Anyone who says this is trash is an Acolyte fan. Thank you. That's a big insult. Star Wars died with Disney, but there are fans of Acolyte, unironically. And they also, these fans can, you know, they can like what they like. If you like the Acolyte, fine. Good on you. I feel good for you. So, I think it was a piece of shit. So, Justin B, just like Dead Air. Like Dead Air, pauses as in Dead Air. What is your favorite Legends timeline, KOTOR, or Future Back? My favorite, there were a handful of pauses that felt like either buffering issues. Pauses as in Dead Air. Thank you. Did you already design? I really don't know what you guys mean by pauses. I mean, there's some silence with the background music. I guess that's probably what you guys are meaning. Oh, are you trying? There's the part in Naboo where there's a lot of silence when he's in feed. You hear the ambience. But I don't remember there being like just rant. I guess I mean what you mean. I guess I understand what you guys are saying now. Let me go back to Meister Drake. Did you already design the cannon circle? I haven't even got to that yet. Will you hire to do collabs with other YouTubers like Pickles Joker or Evan Ortega? Nah. I like those guys, but nah. Pixel Joker's busy with his Kenobi stuff, so. Yeah, Drek says there were not any more pauses. No, the way he went through the village and killed locals. The way he went through the villages and killed locals. Oh, you mean on Baldemnik? Yeah, that's kind of out of place, though. I kind of feel like that would be out of place. Like, it's in the book, yeah, it's in character, but listen, and from a movie standpoint, you don't really get the dark side of Plagueis till you get to the Woebegone, because I mean, you get the Sith with the Tenebris scene, and then it's pretty much it's a big like surprise. Like he kills them all brutally. Yeah, having those villagers getting killed, that's kind of like just adds on to something that's already flowing pretty good. So it's a screen time thing and flow thing. Let me go to keep reading the Russ Mermaids says Lizard work, gotta go. As a fan, I want more. Thank you. I hope you have a good day. Just watching to YouTube. I loved it. What scenes in the projects were done by Gary's mod? Just mainly backgrounds. The opening scene on Baldemnik, I think, was done in Gary's mod. With where he's going through it. Yeah, it was. The scene with the Gossams was done in Gary's mod. A lot of the space scenes were done in Gary's mod. See, I don't animate the space scenes in Blender. I just use Gary's mod. I'm not an animator. I hope people know that. I don't have time to animate. I would love to have people animate ship scenes for me. That would make things all so wholesome. If there's an animator out there that would animate Blender renders of ship scenes, yeah. Two Star Wars nerds, great work, dude. I'm glad you liked it. Two Star Wars nerds. Um, don't know if you're a Marvel fan, but have you gone to see Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah, I have. I liked it. Um, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? Revenge of the Sith, followed by Empire Strikes Back. Um, followed by followed by, you guys won't believe this. My third favorite Star Wars movie is The Phantom Menace, and it's seen Phantom Menace has kind of become a movie I rewatch so often. It's maybe because I grew up with it or something. Like I grew up with it on DVD, and I watched it more. It's kind of just that movie that's kind of like comfort food. So I think, yeah, the third favorite's Phantom Menace, but my favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith. Always. My favorite character is Darth Vader. Followed, yeah, my favorite character is Darth Vader. Um, or yeah, Darth Vader, followed by Luke, followed by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Actually, no, I think my favorite character is Qui-Gon, followed by Vader. I don't. You have a Darth Plagueis action figure. I don't. I would love to have one, but they're expensive. Fun fact for those who didn't know: Darth Plagueis' model. The Darth Plagueis' model is based on the action figure of the Black Series. So he's literally wearing the Black Series look. The only thing is I can't take off his robes, so love this machine. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Just watching YouTube. Do you have a what are your priorities regarding what chapters of the novel make it into your adaptation? I read it. I actually do it in order. I read the book. I read it. I edit in order. I read it. I decide what comes and goes, what dialogue comes and stays, and that's actually how I edit it. Like, mostly everything in this is following the book. Like, Plagueis. There's a scene where it says that Plagueis turned to the lake and looked out after I understand you, Kosinga Palpatine. And he looks out in the lake. I just added that. I filmed that shot where he looks out in the lake. So it's, if you've read the book, it's kind of like there's some like original stuff. Like I changed some locations where people talk and stuff. Like Palpatine and Kosinga were supposed to talk in the office. In the movie, they talk on the lakeside. I personally like the ambience more on the lakeside. Although they're just standing there talking for like a good 5 minutes. Some people might. But yeah, that's it's all on what works and what not. When I was reading the Plagueis book and I got to the chapters where he goes on that venomous quest, I felt this is just too much, and this is just really people won't want to get to Palpatine, so I skipped over it. Just my thing, because after the Gossams and the venomous fight, you want to go back to the story where he's looking for the Naboo, the plasma. So it makes more sense to go back to the Naboo plot than go on this venomous apprentice plot. Which, it's more of a side story than anything, which is fine. There can be side stories in a book. Alright. Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel. I agree. Maybe it's the old graphics, but you somehow managed to make it look nostalgic. Thank you. I've read the super chat already. Have you tried playing Bounty Hunter Nah. Gorison L. Hi, Everest. I watched your episode in full today, and one thing, thank you. And I cannot wait for the rest. Thank you for putting the time and effort into the production. Greetings from the Netherlands. I'm glad you liked it, my friend. My Netherlands friend. If you are able to send me... Oh, you have a spare one? You have a spare Plagueis figure, a Black Series. Yeah. Wow, that would be a great gift. Listen, contact me on my YouTube business email, and I'll message you my I'll message you. Oh, that would be such a great gift, man. That would make me very happy. That would make me very happy. Yeah. Give it up for Evil Angel Musics. He's gonna send me a Black Series. I can't believe that's a very generous thing. Especially when it's a very rare action figure. Oh, W. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna wow. I can't believe you would want to do that. All right, yeah, send me an email on my business email, and we will get that squared. How much is for one out of the box? I think they're pretty high up there. They're pretty high. I mean, they're pretty hard to find nowadays. So I, just upload a review. Yeah, I'll upload a review. Wow. Oh wow. Whew. Man. Woo, man. That's actually making me sweat. I can't believe he has one of those. It's like a super rare. Oh. Yes, that's an amazing gift. Whew. All right. Not okay. All right, let's go back to the questions. Oh wow, that's very generous. I don't know. Um, no, if it did like send you. Not sure how any fan can watch this or read the book and then watch Acolyte and think they're the same. Oh my god. You think I'm the only one? You think you're the only one. I did try something here. I guess I'll show you. I did try to do some deep faking, but it didn't come out right. But this is what Kosinga originally was going to look like. Some special behind the scenes. I used the likeness of Ian McKellen, a 3D model of Ian McKellen, and then I applied that to the face and whatnot. I would have kept it like that, but the thing is, I'm kind of like going through. And then I also tried to fix Palpatine's face using this. Obviously, this looks better, way better. But when he did a lot of the turning, and then when he's far away, it wasn't working. It really wasn't working. And then there are some scenes where he looks like he was Asian, which is why I decided against just deepfaking his face. And there's also a lot of controversy around deepfakes. Sean Connery looked good. I used Sean Connery's likeness. I think this is more of a texture, though, than a deepfake. See, I kind of imagined Sean Connery as the King of Naboo. It was just the way I feel. It's a nod to a great actor. Come on, everyone loves Sean Connery. Connery was a nice cut. Pops looks like Loki. He's actually supposed to be like Loki. That's who I based his look on. In part 2, he's gonna look a little older. So I've been testing out like ways to make him look older. What's everyone's thoughts on this? Do you like the look of Palpatine here? I'm also gonna make his hair a little more browner because his hair color, the color fizzles out. But some test. Less wrinkles. Yeah, there was another one I had of where I did like use. I don't know if I could find the picture though. Did you use anything to get so like Ian McDermott? Here's the thing. I was gonna try to do that. It's just he looks pretty bad. Ian McDermott just there's no really young pictures of Ian McDermott, and I did use some like Photoshop like this. This one I tried to use. This one kind of looks good. I might use but again the Photoshop wasn't really coming. The deep faking wasn't really coming out great. I'm gonna still try for part 2. So he's transitioning from Tom Hiddleston into Ian McDermott. But I kind of just prefer Tom Hiddleston because he has that. I kind of prefer this young Palpatine. You could combine. Are you thinking about doing a Star Wars project around the Mandalorian and Grogu? No. There's your answer for that one. When I saw Sean Connery, it made sense Palpatine had red hair. Connery was supposed to look like the queen of Naboo. The reason why his face is white is that's supposed to be makeup and whatnot. So the king and queen, they're supposed to represent Naboo. Some people say, well, why don't the king just look like, a Game of Thrones guy or something? Lord Baelish was my first idea. I just imagined Ars Verona as Lord Baelish. I'm going to give him a new outfit because he's going to be the king in part 2. He's not going to look like Sean Connery, though. He's going to try to... you never know. He might be caked up in makeup. Lord Baelish. Recently, I'll give some spoilers. I've been working on trying to get a young middle kind of 30-year-old Qui-Gon Jinn going on here. I've been working on that recently. I've been working on the textures here. I made his hair less. I tried making his hair less gray, and I edited his face a little bit, so he kind of looks younger. We still need to edit some of his texture maps or whatnot, but yeah, he's coming. Yeah, I know. Before you say anything, your guys are gonna make a joke about how the texture looks, but yeah. Are you using SFM? I can never use SFM. I never understood SFM. I can't really do animation because my animation would look wonky and would make, I don't want to be wonky. There is Tales of Jedi Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's not that young. Okay, in Tales of the Jedi, he's like 20. I think he's a kid. Isn't he like a young adult? In Plagueis, he's actually in his 30s, and he had an apprentice of his own. So I would imagine him just with younger looking brown hair and smoother skins, less wrinkles. So he would look. I think he looks more like his Phantom Menace, a younger version of his Phantom Menace look than Tales of the Jedi. You just need eye wrinkles and forehead wrinkles with some liver spots to age them. Kif Sif says, I am loving the Darth Plagueis episode 1 so far. Work been slow today, so I've been passing the time watching it. I am half an hour in. You're doing the fandom an amazing service. Thank you, Kit Sif. I'd say more Tyrion Lannister or Viserys from HOTD, House of the Dragon, I assume. So, well, that show fell off quickly. That show's going to season 7, season 8 territory of Game of Thrones. This Visible Record says, I already answered this. Will you do Darth Bane trilogy? No, I will not do the Darth Bane trilogy. I will do a Darth Bane video, but I'm not doing the Darth Bane trilogy. I love the versions of the Emperor, Palpatine, and Qui-Gon Jinn and Liam Neeson. And what are your thoughts on Mandalorian Season 4? Season 4? That ain't out yet. I don't care for... I kind of stopped caring for Mandalorian. Season 3 kind of just kept going and going. I kind of feel the same about all Disney stuff nowadays. Going through here. But I do want to address this. I get this a lot. We've gone through the comments of the Plagueis video. Here, I'm actually going to go... a lot of love. Love everyone that's loving it. There's a lot of love. There is some haters, or maybe one or two haters. Surprisingly, but I get this a lot regarding the voices of Plagueis and Palpatine, which I'm going to address right now. So we need to nip this in the bud. People have been saying that Palpatine sounds older than he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a 20-year-old, blah, blah, blah. And he sounds like he's a 50. He sounds like how he is in the Phantom Menace, or he just sounds like the Emperor straight up. That is actually addressed if you go watch old videos of young Ian McDiarmid. He sounds just like he does in the Phantom Menace. Better yet, there's parts where he sounds like the Emperor. I think, like, when he started, Ian McDiarmid, when he started,
Jimmy here. Jimmy here. You don't feel different, do you?
Yeah, he sounds the same like he does back then, and there isn't a lot of young wonder if Matt. Can I display? Okay, let's just show.
It's just come from time to time. And that might be your problem.
Might be your problem.
In the streets, who believe in the occult, for instance. Actually, dozens of psychologists studying the paranormal at this very moment.
He's always sounded like that.
Going south.
Yeah, what?
I wonder if you could help me. You see, I've got two young ladies here in trouble.
So I just want to nit that bud that people that common complaint people seem to send me is that he sounds older than he's supposed to be. That's just the way he sounds. And that's what the voice actor based it off. He based it off of young Ian McDermott. So he based it off those videos that you watched. He does a great Palpatine, I think. So, yeah. Would I like some takes? I kind of would liked more like the audiobook voice, like Plagueis, but I kind of like the awkward look of Play. I kind of felt like that whole like when he goes into his Palpatine voice or his Emperor voice. I think that's more him being awkward. He's supposed to be an awkward kid. He's Palpatine. He's supposed to be this weird kid that he behaves differently. I recall Star Wars Theory watching a previous video of yours on it. Yes, he did. He watched the Tenebris video. And he actually wanted to help out with this one. He wanted to voice a role, and so I gave him the role of I felt it kind of made sense to give him the role of Venomous. I think that was pretty small enough for him and pretty big for him to play. And Tenebris now doesn't really have much of a role. But it is a memorable one. It's a small role, so but it's one everyone remembers. So it's Theory Brius, if that makes anything. Even as a protagonist, Ian still sounds like he is today. So what are people on about the voice of young Palpatine? People don't realize that young Ian McDermott just sounds the same. He always sounded the same. So a lot of people are confusing that with. There was one scene I did not pitch up his voice, which was the scene in the fields where Plagueis is kind of being creepy towards him. That scene I did not pitch up his voice, but still it worked. I still thought it was pretty well done. Now onto the big one, the one I get the most wondering why. And that is the voice of Plagueis. A lot of people don't understand why I used Plagueis' voice. One, I did not use the audiobook voice. Or two, he sounds like Count Dooku. So I'm going to explain why he sounds like Count Dooku. I love the Plagueis voice from Nick Ruoff. But people don't realize a big thing that he did with he did something with the Plagueis voice. I did the from the very beginning, me and him did a thing where I wanted someone to sound like Daniel Davis's portrayal of Plagueis. So what Nick did was, of all the voice, so many people auditioned, and none of them sounded anything threatening, or they're doing just weird. I don't know. They're trying hard, but I'm glad everyone voice auditioned. Plagueis' voice, Nick, he did not have a good mic, but he had this cadence about him. That was the right one. That was the right cadence. I was like, that's him. And he went out and he bought a $200 million mic, or he bought a 200 million. Did I say 200 million? A $200 mic, and he got, to record the Plagueis lines, and he wanted it to be good. I felt so you can tell his voice is he kind of has a younger sounding voice. Uh, here's what he did. He actually just he here's actually what we did. He just listened to the voice lines from the audiobook and he just replicated it. He just did an impression of that, all those voice lines. Daniel Davis, all those audiobook voices, he didn't do it by scratch. He did it mimicking the way Daniel Davis did. So he was doing his best to do an impression of Daniel Davis, doing the same takes over and over again. There was still the... You see, his voice is a little higher pitched. So I got the idea, Plagueis is supposed to sound like an alien, pitching him up. So pitching him down makes him sound weird. Like, I got this idea where, what if I use this tool that makes him give like a growly voice too? And that was it. That was it. So the so-called Dooku voice is not him doing a Dooku. It's more or less the fact that his voice is deeper pitched from this tool I used that has a pitch filter. So it kind of gives him like a bass in his throat, in his lines, his delivery, which makes him sound more alien. I loved that. It made him sound more alien. Which is this was the big thing. But you know what? He sounds like Count Dooku. What's wrong with that? So we kind of just went full on with it. Like, okay, Dooku Plagueis. And then literally the scene where he's doing the when we were doing the last scene with Palpatine, we had to cut down a bit. I think we had to cut down a bit. But the big thing was the way he's gonna do his speech, And funny enough, the explanation is there. I told him, you know what? Have you seen Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring? And he's like, yes, of course, everyone's seen Lord of the Rings. Remember the scene where they're in the mountains and Saruman's trying to kill the Fellowship by using the wizard speech, the Lord of the Rings. So that whole Dooku, that whole Plagueis teaching, training is based actually on Saruman doing his speech towards the Misty Mountains from Fellowship of the Ring. So it is a reference to another Christopher Lee voice performance. But yeah, I do like his voice. There are some scenes I didn't pitch his voice down properly, so it goes up and down a bit, but it's still the same cadence. You could think that the Hugo Damask voice is more slow and sophisticated, but when he's full on Plagueis, he's like, of course, and you will follow everything I tell you. Basically, that's the story of the Plagueis voice, and I love the Plagueis voice. It's different from the audiobook. It is an impression of Daniel Davis. It became a impression of Daniel Davis. Like, all the lines are a impression of him, but it kind of got morphed into a Dooku voice as it went along. So that's kind of, and it kind of fits him. I think it's a great voice of Plagueis. It's kind of a unique voice, I think. But obviously I'm going to get those complaints a lot about him, so. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? I'm 26. Why does your Orca PvP have a cute eye? Because that's my Orca eye. He sounds like a mix of Dooku and Kylo Ren. Yes. Theory helped you out with Tenebris? No, he voiced Venomous. Tenebris is voiced by Duncan Meteor, who's in the chat right now. You know, it would be very cool if you could actually make like Blu-ray copies. I'm not gonna do that. I might do like a menu, like when I do them all. Uh, if there's ever a fan convention, I might just make some discs and give them out. I tried to. I was at the recent Washington convention, and they were giving out bootlegs of some movies like Godzilla -1 and stuff. I don't know how they got away with that, but I don't think they would give me my own booth. I'm kind of like a ne'er do well, small guy. All right, perfect word for France. Thank you. I love the French. Loctius, the books is so good. Thank you. You're only 4 years older than me. 212, Tom and Taya. Plagueis episode 1 is so great. Thanks for doing this. Thank you, Tom and Taha. I don't think I've seen your channel before. Tom and Taha. I see that check mark. Amazing. Here you go. Guys, are you from Germany? Thank you. I have some friends in Germany. One of those. Of course, yes. I have some friends that live in Germany as well. Glad to see there's some German representation. Yes, and that I hope the German subtitles suited you well. I added some German subtitles. Will your orca... Now, I will say this. I'll mention another video. There is a German Lego Darth Plagueis movie that is not really, like, faithful, but it does it, I guess, mostly. It's more of a very, very condensed version. I would go check that out, but I'm kind of having a feud with them because apparently they talked smack about me a couple months ago. But you know, I think it's I like the Lego stop motion of Plagueis. A lot of people haven't seen that video, but it's cool that there's a lot of German EU fans out there. How long did it take to do episode 1? I started it in March and finished filming in June, and it's just been editing for now and music composing. Funny enough, the music score for this it took just 2 weeks. Because me and Max is pretty fast, and oh man, he has so many great ideas. We're gonna do when we do episode 2, we're gonna have like so many themes from the Phantom Menace come back. It's going to be pretty interesting. Theory as Venomous was alright. Theory wanted to do... he did a couple versions of Venomous. He did one based on Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, which I kind of liked. So I let him do it that way. Just whatever you wanted to do. It fit. Thank you, Tornax. I keep up the good work. Thank you, Tornax. CNQR Toxic says, "Hi Everest, great stuff on these videos. I'm a designer and was wondering if you're thinking of changing up your banner and logo." I'm not changing the logo Orcas forever, bro. But I do want to get a better banner. I have no money to... I did buy money for the Plagueis thumbnail, but y'all need to know this. This is all non-profit, so I don't really... I don't pay for the Plagueis stuff. Now, what I do get profit on is like the streams and stuff. So, but the Plagueis video is not monetized and whatnot. So, you know, you don't need to give all that money to Disney. Disney. Well, that is their property, I should say. But I shouldn't say that. But, you know, it's non-profit is what I'm trying to say. Non-profit. I'm not... if I did profit it, there would probably be some issues, but you know, we gotta keep the fan stuff, you know, in the clear zone. That's why I say, you know, sub to the Patreon, which, by the way, if anyone hasn't, besides super chatting, you can also join the Patreon. I'm gonna try to keep it updated with more Plagueis stuff. There will be scenes on there and whatnot, so sub there. If you just want to send me money, there's also PayPal. There's also let me see. I can get it. You don't need my PayPal. But yeah, Everest VA, subscribe there if you want to like support some more. It's also free. There's also a free section, but stuff you will see in the community post will be the same. You will not be able to see some work in progress without subscribing. So, whatnot. Everest, it'll be free of charge. It's what I love doing. Of course, Toxic. Like, show me your work before. Like, send me an email. Again, send me an email, and we will. What's your Okay, Tom and Taha says, what's your opinion on the Acolytes and the depiction of Plagueis there? Screw the Acolyte. I hate that show. And the depiction of Plagueis. Okay, since let's be serious. I'm not gonna. I think I went into there too hot there. Acolyte. The core idea of Acolyte, with Master Squid Game, Master Soul, there's some interesting things that could have worked with the Acolyte, and I'm just refraining what I said before. But I think everything is butchered by the horrible story structure, the horrible backstory, and the acting is non-existent. I think the main characters are the worst main characters. Not Master Soul. I think he's one of the best Jedi characters. He was the only good thing in the show, and they killed him, by the way. I thought he was the only decent thing in the show. They killed him off. But the twins and their story is one of the worst aspects of the Star Wars universe I've ever seen. It's so poorly thought out. It's so that the actors don't, or the actress doesn't really know how to emote. She just has one expression, and the writing is just horrible. And the whole story revolving around these twins and this accident, which was pretty just random, if anything, is horrible. Chimere is pretty interesting. They run, but here's the thing with Chimere. I don't understand why Plagueis is in the show. And why he was in a cave. It was such a... It was such an FU from... It felt to me like a big FU. Especially when it's just a random... It's in the middle. It's near the beginning. It's not in the end. It's not even a tease. They have Yoda as the ending tease. Yoda's kind of just destroyed the story. Yoda has done nothing in this story. Why wasn't he in this story in the first place? So, without getting into it, I hate the plot. I hate it. Because it's more of the story and the acting. I think some of the characters could work. Like, Jeki could have worked more. And then Master Soul was great. They butchered his character in the end, unfortunately. It's just not a good show. I will not accept that Plagueis is in the Acolyte. I don't want a Leslie Headland Plagueis show, because I feel like she's just trying to force her stamp on the Star Wars world by saying that she was the one who came up with this, and it's really narcissism. I feel there's a lot of sense of narcissism in Acolyte from the showrunner. It really is. Not to mention, I think her wife, she plays Vernestra. Vernestra is another one of the worst written and acted characters of the Star Wars universe. So the show produces one of the worst characters in the Star Wars universe, one of the worst storytelling, and then the worst uses of witches and stuff. I don't know. I kind of gave up on the show after episode 6. So, actually, no, I gave up on it on episode 3. And I kind of kept getting roped into watching it afterwards. So, yeah, I do agree. The lightsaber fights are really good. I can't help that. And I like Chimera. I like Master Soul and Chimera. Master Soul gets killed, so now you have Chimera and Plagueis leading a plotless, boring story involving twins and a evil dark Jedi by Vernestra with an actress who can't really act. I don't know. Again, narcissism. It's really narcissism. I also kind of felt like there was a lot of hostility. There's a lot of man bad, to it. I kind of just felt that between the twins and Master Soul. Honestly, the story would have been unchanged if they kept Master Soul alive, but they had to kill him. They had to kill him. Alright, okay. Yeah, but Toxic, on the subject of the banner, send me an email and tell me if you want to work on just fixing up my banner a bit, because I want to fix it up. Cora T says, hello Tom, how... Oh, that's a question to Tom. Acolyte was the worst Star Wars show. Oh, a lot of people felt it. I do think some of the heat was over... I do agree. I think it's the worst Star Wars we've ever... Ironically, the best lightsaber stuff's in the worst Star Wars show. But I do think a lot of the hate has been vile, and that seems to happen with a lot of Star Wars shows. Again, I hate the show too, as much as everyone, but I moved on. Plagueis, I'm just back to EU stuff. People need to move on. But I also hate the apologists as well. I have an issue with people shilling the show and then saying, well, how could you not like this? You're just a grifter or whatnot. I hate people that do that shit. I hate them as much as the people that overhate this stuff or, complain about it as if it's the bane of their existence. Well, Darth Bane's there. Shot you an email. Let me know if you're interested. Yep. Hello, Tesco Falco. Very well done. I hope you get contact to work on a Star Wars project. See, I'm just a guy. I hope so, but I'm just a guy that's if I got to work on a Star Wars project, I don't know how that would work. I'd have to move to LA. I don't have a lot of money. So it's just me in my dark cave right now. It's dark in my room, and I'm like Gollum on the computer editing a Plagueis. I'm like Plagueis in his cave. I am Plagueis in my cave editing my Plagueis movie. This is exactly me. I'm in my cave from the Acolyte, gooning in my cave. Anyway, I can help create music for your projects. I would love not to charge and would love to be a part of this. Oh, August. Well, if you want to, you could collab with Max Cash now on some tracks. Max also did the score for the first Plagueis movie. Yeah, send me an email, August, and we'll talk. But if you want to collab with me and Max on the score, yeah, we can definitely do that. That would. I removed the Wokalite. No. Alex Neff says the Outbound Cave and kill the Pretenders. Yeah. Your work is remarkable. Thank you. Hello there, Mulhorn Gaming. I'm glad you joined us. I actually saw your reaction to the Tenebrous video before I dropped the Plagueis movie. But glad to see you in my chat here. Okay. Let me check my email. By the way, Evil Music, if you wanted to send that action figure, again, you gotta send me a... Okay, let's see. You see, I'm checking some of this stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, you do a lot of good work. See, what was it, Toxic? I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now. There's a lot of good work here. Alright. How did Star Wars Fury pull off Venomous, by the way? It was good. He did an impression of Frieza, as I recall. And I kind of just went with it. Will you ever make tutorials? I don't have time for tutorials, unfortunately. I appreciate you doing the fan film. I can only imagine the hours of work it took. It probably took like 100 hours, if not more. And now I gotta do another 100 hours to do Plagueis episode 2 and 3. But I'm ready. I am ready. I'm ready, giddy to do this stuff. Let me see. Yeah, so August, yeah, email me, Toxic, I got your email. Evil Music, you will add that Plagueis action figure. I don't know if you emailed me, and I'll email you my address for that. Hey Everest, the Plagueis episode 1 is amazing. Great job. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maceling. Meow, 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 meow. Here, I'll just... Here. There. There you go. I put it in the text chat. If anyone wants to email me, there it is. Don't email me random shit, though. That's annoying for many people. I guess. Hello, Devron. Hello, Devron. How you doing? Always good to see you again. Whew. Yeah, did everyone like the music in Plagueis Part 1? I love the themes. I liked how Max Cashnell used like an original Palpatine theme. It's supposed to be like an inversion of the theme he gets, but it's kind of like a nice, interesting. See, it's memorable. I'm trying to survive the riots in the UK. Oh, I know. It's pretty bad over there. You have my sympathy. It is pretty bad in the UK. Yeah, my favorite... I told Max this, and I'll tell you guys. My favorite scene in the Plagueis episode 1 is the one where he kills the Woebegone, and 11-4D, he asks him if there's anything else he can do, and he's like, Send me food and drink. I'm famished. And then you hear the reprise of his main theme in like glorious fashion. And that's the best scene in the whole movie for me. That's my favorite scene. Been wanting to get back to my own machinimas because of all the content you and Gum Guai. Hello, Solonic. How you doing, my friend? Back to was Long Gum Guai are releasing recently, but unfortunately, family has been bringing me alive. Life, yeah. That look at Ian McDiarmid gives me uncomfortable vibes. I think that's the point. He's got those Sith eyes. He's looking at you. Oh, yeah. There's also this horrible Henry Cavill Plagueis I have. Or Palpatine. Calvapatine. After the Plagueis fan film is complete, do you have future fan films in mind? I might take a break from Star Wars after Plagueis, but this has kind of become a Star Wars channel, so to speak. So Star Wars is kind of the way of things right now. I might want to do like a Jurassic Park stuff. I love Jurassic Park. It's my favorite movie of all time. I've said that many times on stream. Even more than Star Wars, but I hate Jurassic World, so it's kind of a dead franchise to me right now. I love Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, and the books. Here's another picture of Leon. We're just looking at pictures of Ian McDiarmid and Qui-Gon Jinn. I don't know. I think they're good background musics for pictures for like discussion. How many time skips are in the book? 3 actually. And again, it's episode 1 is part 1, episode 2 is part 2, and episode 3 is part 3. Part 2 is 10 years after, and then part 3 is during the Phantom Menace. The entirety of part 3 is the Phantom Menace plot line. Or I think the year the Phantom Menace is set. There's also a lot of books that supply it, like Shadowhunter and stuff. I might add some scenes from Shadowhunter to show like Maul on a mission, but I'm not going to adapt Shadowhunter as a story. I think that would go on too long, as interesting as it would. Did you see the tribute about Darth Plagueis the WFT made? I think so. I don't know. Oh well, thank you, Solonic. You're always a great help, man. I'm glad you're doing good, and thank you for the donation as usual. I emailed you. The Plagueis and Mystery Fig are a big thank you. Oh, thank you, Evil Angel Music. You know, you guys are all. I've been going through some stuff, and I pushed myself to set up my computer. I went through. I'll be honest with you guys. I pushed myself. I had to move out of a place, and it's kind of been rough on me the last month. So pretty much all I had was my computer and my editing programs, and I just kind of worked away in this new cave of mine to finish what I had been doing for the last few months, and it was the only thing I was doing. So to see people like the stuff I put so much effort in is I'm getting emotional here. It really calms me down in these dark times. I think it's just dark times in general too. But thank you so much for Solonic Evil Music. You guys make me feel happy. So, yeah, the franchise fixture. Thank you. That would be cool to see more KF Mall in your Plagueis trilogy. Oh, good. I need to I need to oh, I'll avenge. I have to edit some taxpayer info. I'll do that later. Your money is in there right now. PayPal won't give it to me, Solonic, so I'll get to that later. But thank you so much for, donating that again. That helps me right now. As you guys know, I'm broke right now, so I am flat ass broke. To like can you know. So this is just just keeping my hobby to. This is a good hobby right now to keep my mind off the dark times, as I said. Let me read some questions here. Would you say machinimas are the way to keep the franchise alive these days? Yes, or any kind of animation. Depends. You gotta do it the right way. I think this might be a controversial take. I don't think you should just rely on AI and stuff. I've been vocal about that. But you need to find that spark that makes things work, because not everyone's gonna like some people don't like my stuff because it's old animation and it is technically characters just standing still looking at each other with no emotions while voice lines play over with music. And that's but I think it's becoming a niche. I was inspired by the what do you call it, the Red versus Blue, and some old machinimas I used to watch that was on from Star Wars Galaxies and whatnot. Yeah. The thing with AI voices is I think they can be a tool for like minor things. Like I don't think you should just rely on it. It can bring controversies, especially with these like whole voice acting and I think there was maybe one or two AI lines in this, but it was mainly natural voice acting speaking. Again, lines you wouldn't even notice, but just like one last second things to do, since there wasn't much time left, and it doesn't make sense to get some random person to stuff you could do yourself as well. I did some voice lines myself. I didn't just use AI, but I think it's kind of becoming kind of a controversial issue with AI. If people now want to do this and that, they want deep fake, and they want the voice actors or the actors. There's nothing wrong with using the likeness. I mean, Sean Connery is in Plagueis, but it's not actually Sean Connery. It's Duncan Bruce doing the voice of doing an impression of Sean Connery. It's not actually Sean Connery. It's just a tribute to the actor. But he's not. He's not. It's not actually using his voice lines. It's not stealing his likeness. It's not like It's not like soullessly done. It's more of an impression, if anything, and that's what it needs to be. A lot of the voice acting, Palpatine is an impression of Ian McDiarmid. That's voice acting that gives life to the character. I couldn't imagine an Ian McDiarmid AI model working. I just don't. Yeah, just 11 Labs. A lot of voices can just be monotone. It's just not worth it at this point. I'd rather there be life in the vocals that say the voice lines. Alright, let me check my email. Oh. I guess. Yes, I sent you a message back, Reese. Yes, it's me. You sent it to the right email. Or, I mean, Evil Music, if I accidentally said your name on stream. Let me read some of the, go back to the live stream. There you go. Yeah, I just don't rely on AI voices. It's be bad for you. It'll bring controversy. I mean, some of the voice actors said if I relied on AI, they would not work with me. They said don't use AI, just please don't, or don't use my voices for AI training. And I said, of course I would not do that. That would be shameful. A lot of people feel shame from that when you do that. And there have been some creators that have done that, where they've taken someone else's voice without their permission and done that. So no, big no-no. A big no-no. I know some people. Everest, have you considered taking animation recreations from other book or games if people commissioned you by paying you through PayPal? How much would you charge? Like Darth. Well, I do this as a hobby. I don't do this as a job. If I did it as a job, I wouldn't ask much for it. But it's not even a job. It would be a commission, if anything. All right. Enough of the Chad Qui-Gon mugging the camera. Let's find someone else. Aha! Let's do Han Solo right here. Actually, Han Solo doesn't fit the Plagueis theme. Let's find another thingamajig. Mara Jade, there we go. Where's Mara Jade? I still don't think it fits the prequel. There you go, Darth Maul. It's big. It's so big. There you go, Darth Maul. About your Darth Plagueis project, thanks for the French subtitles. You're welcome. I use that. Okay, that's another good tool, AI. I used the AI program to create the subtitles, then I edited the subtitles myself. And then I used Google Translate to just translate I use Google Translate to translate all the subtitles. So a pretty good tool, I think, that AI does for AI. It's not good, obviously if there's like a Japanese production and stuff, it needs a translator, an actual one. But for translating something that's fan made, I think AI does a pretty good job for that. It saves the time and effort of me going through the whole movie and adding a line myself. So will episode 2 be scripted by your own story? No, it'll be the same. It'll be Plagueis. It'll be the Plagueis novel. There's a part 2 in the book. Some people have not read the book. I'm glad people are watching this, because people usually just watch recaps or lore of the book without reading it. So this is kind of a good idea for people to actually get to read the book. Or same with Labyrinth of Evil, the audio drama of Labyrinth of Evil. If you haven't seen that, check it out. That's another one I did, but that's more of a kind of a audio thing. All right. Well, that's good to know that the French subtitles corresponds with the dialogue. So. Cares about the High Republic? Honestly, yeah, who cares about the High Republic? I mean, there's fans of it, but who cares? Just cares about that era. I don't know anyone who actually reads those books other than maybe influencers. I mean, maybe hardcore Star Wars fans, like hardcore, like they buy every cassette, DVD, blah blah blah. But I generally don't know anyone that really forces themselves to get into the High Republic as like, I guess, a casual book reader. I don't know. All right. So, what will be the title of the Plagueis Part 2? I can answer that. The title of the movie is here. Episode 2. The Canted Circle. What's canted about it and what's circle about it? You'll have to watch and find out. Unless you read the book, of course. You probably know what it's referencing. But yeah. That will be next. That will be the title of episode 2 of Plagueis. Episode 1 of Plagueis. All right. This is for Evil Music. You wanted to prove it's me. Plagueis was the master of all 7 forms of lightsaber combat. That's pretty much what you wanted me to say. So yes, it's me. It's my email. I want you to know it's me. I'm not some cheap guy. I'm not. It's actually me, the Everest man. It has so much potential to, although it casually ends up being a worse version of EU content. Yeah, I agree with that. Solange says, I gotta drop, but good job, Crit, and thanks for keeping franchise alive and get us a good source. Thank you. I hope your kids enjoys it. I know you show them it too, so I hope they enjoy this one. And I hope you enjoyed the French subtitles too, Solonic. And again, Evil Music, I'm answering your question. Oh, all right. Oh, wow. Okay. You're sending me a surprise second figure. That's quite a surprise, Music Evil. But I'm fine with that. I like that character from... so, give me a sec. All right, I sent you my address, Reese. Uh, Evil Music. So hopefully you get that, and I can't wait to see what you send me. I'll definitely make a video about it. Let's see. Let me read the Plagueis. The Plagueis book was an enjoyable read, but I think the audiobook is much better in my opinion, with all the voices, soundtrack, sound effects, like visualizing the story in your head. Well, if that's your opinion, I'm not trying to make the audiobook. The audiobook will always be there for people that want it. And I'm not trying to sound sour, but I kind of getting tired of the audiobook comparisons. Like, come on, just think of it as its own. Daniel Davis is there. He is Plagueis. I think he is the definite voice of Plagueis, but this is a new version. So we really need to this just really needs to be the we need to just really stop the comparisons to the audiobook, and nothing can really change. I'm not trying to replicate the audiobook. How long did it take to drop the first episode? It took 5 months since March. Uh, it took a. It was actually done around the time of Acolyte, but there was a delay in some voice recordings. That's all I'll say about that. So, oh, by the way, thank you, Solonic. If you're still there, I got the surprise donation. Thank you. Always kind. You're just a loving man. Uh, don't take that the wrong way. Loving. Yeah, you can't be too. Yeah, I know. There are so many smooches that try to like bait theory, or with theory, I know they try to like beg their way to get gifts and stuff. You need to always be careful. Like, there's only almost a one guy that uh slumped. Well, whatever you call. So yeah, it's just, see, a lot of people haven't listened to the Plagueis audiobook. So the ones that listened are the hardcore audio, or the EU fans, or some of the people that are just fans of the Plagueis book. So when they're trying to compare, I left some of the voices in there. Like Lars Hill's voice is still Daniel Davis, but Daniel Davis isn't credited because, again, it's audiobook recording. So I say sourced from the audiobook. I would have kept Plagueis' voice the same, except there's new dialogue. A lot of the voice lines are compacted, and then to be honest, there would be maybe some copyright. Like, I got lectured by some people because I'm using audiobook voices in the first video. I got lectured by him, but Solonic actually said I could be so much better if I just used voice actors. I would be improving myself by not relying on what's already there. So that's what I did. Yeah, I'm just telling you my work process. Oh, we're missing an image. We need another Dapper Dan here. Trying to find. I'm trying to find. Uh, uh, actually, But people were saying you would get a copyright strike, but people upload the audiobook. That's because they're doing parts of the audiobook. If they upload the whole audiobook, it would probably get taken down. They're doing like snippets of the book. It's much different than just taking. It's much different than just uploading whole chapters of the book. That's why a lot of people on YouTube just read the book themselves, or have their own versions of reading. Any plans on doing a Darth Bane episode? I'll do Darth Bane video. I already addressed that. All right, I might get some hate for this, but I kind of love this woman, so you probably know who I'm talking. Can I save an image here? All right. Nah, I'm not gonna show. I was gonna show some Daisy Ridley, her latest photo shoot, but I think that would be cheating. I know people hate Rey, but I don't hate the actress. I kind of think she would fit as a Jaina Solo, or a Jaina Solo still. I'm just trying to find some. Do Tom Hiddleston then. Most fans hate the character, not the actor. I thought the character was fine in the first two. It's just Rise of Skywalker makes her unbearable. I hate how they treat her character, and I hate how she's, No worries. It's like making a new meal with a new ingredient, but reusing things it wouldn't. It's a new spice. Yeah, reusing some of the spice, but you would have liked the original taste or the original spice. I understand that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I could see him as Palpatine. But let's not even talk about how bad the final part of Tross is. It's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. It is pretty bad. So everyone tell me your favorite scenes from the Plagueis movie. Did anyone have any favorite scenes they want to say? What are your thoughts on the criticism drawn to Darth Plagueis' appearance in the Acolyte? I said I never watched the show. Well, see, the thing with that Master Builder, the thing with the Master Plagueis, Plagueis' appearance in the Acolyte, the problem is, the whole story revolves around these twins and Chimera. Everyone kind of felt Chimera was going to be either Plagueis' apprentice or something. They thought Tenebris was going to have a role in this because it would make more sense for Tenebris. The problem is, with the Sith, they make it clear that the twins were born through the Force, so to speak. Again, they're the worst characters. The worst written modern characters in Star Wars right now for me. So they're the problems I think about. But Plagueis randomly appears. Plagueis randomly appears in the first 20 minutes in a cave with no explanation, no context. He's just there in a cave. And then the further context is that he's gonna use the twins for his. The twins are basically the first ones before Anakin, and that's how Plagueis finds out how to create it, which is incredibly stupid and insulting to many people, such as myself. So I hate Plagueis' appearance in the Acolyte. Well, if it could have been done better too, it could have been at the very end, but it was in the first 20 minutes. He was just there in his cave. He's like a vampire in a cave. In a box of... Yeah, Matt Smith was gonna play young Palpatine. They cut that out. My favorite scene was the Tenebris and Plagueis cave scene. I'm glad you liked that. When Darth Plagueis offed his family and Plagueis teaching Palpatine couldn't be any better. Thank you. Yep, those are good scenes. Yep. You haven't watched the whole show, but the whole show is incredibly insulting with the twin plotline. It is a horribly thought out show. There's nothing redeemable about it. Even Plagueis, his appearance in the show makes questions. It questions people. Well, been at this for 2 hours just talking about Plagueis. I might call it for today. But I want to thank everyone for coming in here. August, get back to me if you're still listening. We'll talk about the music. Again, if you want to join in the scoring team, you'll be collabing with Max Cash now. If you have any ideas, but he's kind of the head composer, so if you want to we can definitely balance stuff out. I haven't filmed episode 2 yet. So we do scoring when we're all done with. My dog took a huge Acolyte. Yes, Max is great. Twins being born from Anakin infuriated me. Yes, yeah. Leslie Headland can say anything. I think she's a narcissist, and I think the show's just her She wants to put her stamp on Star Wars, which is not what you do. How long do Biffs and Munes... How old was Tenebris? I think he was 100. He was 100 something. Yeah, he was older than 100, Tenebris, which is why he sounds like an old man in the opening. I think he was the same age as Plagueis, or no, Plagueis was younger. What if Tenebris was 200 years old? I made a mistake where I said the rule of 2 lasted for a century rather than centuries, so it's 100 years in the opening crawl. That was a big mistake I did. Someone pointed out. Well, it was a minor flub, but I don't think people would think of it. You could... Death Trap Troopers movie. The Red Harvest. Thank you, Opal Rancis. I haven't seen you in a while. Actually watching it for the first time right now, and thank you, Rancis, Oppo. But he was born in. Wow, he was old. Yeah, so he was old. Red Harvest would be a hit from Halloween. Yeah, that sounds it. You know, a zombie trooper movie would be good, but it kind of be redundant. Does it? Don't people think? 180 years. Yeah. How long do Biffs? Oh, 180 years. What would Red Harvest be about? Zombies? Okay. I got. Red Harvest is a prequel to Death Troopers. Oh, it's a zombie movie. Okay, so it is a zombie movie. You know, that would be cool. Like a Star Wars Dawn of the Dead, where Jedi. There's a few Jedi and some Rebel troopers. They're like stuck in a. You know, they're like stuck somewhere, and they're surrounded by stormtroopers, zombies. Oh, I would love that. That sounds like a cool idea. Hello, Victoria Sims production. How you doing? So, to recap, well, here's Liam Neeson with Mog in the camera. Hold on. Actually, hold on. I got even something better. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Chadicus the Wise? Darth. I thought not. No. Thank you, Victoria Sims. Look for movie in High Spirits. I think I've seen that. Great book. A Sith is experimenting using a sentient plant. Yeah, it's a good audiobook. I'll need to listen to that. I never listened to it before. What's my favorite Star Wars book? Plagueis. Followed by Heir of the Empire. Trilogy. Followed by Leopard of Evil. Actually, personally, I think the best novel of anything is the novelization of Revenge of the Sith by Matthew Stover. It's the best well-made Star Wars novel, followed by the Lucino novels, Plagueis. Actually, no, Plagueis is the Holy Grail, but the most sophisticated is Revenge of the Sith. Plagueis is the Holy Bible of the EU prequel, even more so than Heir of the Empire. And then there's Heir of the Empire. There's some interesting books like Shadowhunter. I will say I hate the books with the Yuzhong Vong. I hate that plot line. It's like the Borg but Star Wars. I hate the Yuzhong Vong. Horribly thought out. Just Yuzhong Vong. Just the idea sucks, in my opinion. Orcs, Star Wars orcs. Don't like that. We'll never adapt that. I like the Kenobi novel. I have a signed copy, if anyone didn't know, of that book. signed copy, plus a signed poster by what's his face? John Jackson Miller. Yeah. I also have a signed copy of Head of the Empire. I've met Timothy Zahn 3 times. I've met Timothy Zahn 3 times. He's the author I've met the most. Let it be known. And he's such a friendly guy. He seems to forget who I am always, but you know, he meets 1,000 people. So, but love the new Thrawn novels. Yeah, I like the new Thrawn novels too. I kind of fit. I think they fit the what do you call it? The new continuity very well. Yeah. One of these days. I'm hoping eventually I fly out to I want to go to either MegaCon and see Star Wars. I want to someone from Theory's mod team. He invited me to MegaCon. He wants me to go. I said I would when my situation is settled right now. I might consider crowdfunding to go. I don't want to. I can't afford it, but you know, people could help me get there. And if whatever funds I have, I'll probably get there. MegaCon in Florida. Another con I could go back to is ICC in Nashville, the Collectors Con. Great convention, by the way. I went there a couple years ago. Always nice people over there. A lot of Star Wars fans, hardcore. I went to the Summer Con this year. I wasn't a fan. The last Washington cons have been pretty disappointing. I mean, there's a lot of good Clone Wars stuff, but been lackluster. I mean, it was great to see Timothy Zahn again and some people, and there was a guy that had a authentic Revenge of the Sith poster. I really wanted to buy that, but I had no funds for it. Money's just so... My mom and I have watched your revitalized Rise of Skywalker. It was so cool, and I will say it's better than the real movie. I'm glad you liked that. Because the CC subtitles cover half the screen. Is there a way to incorporate subtitles like AAA games that was meant... Premiere for... Well, I think that's just the way YouTube does the closed captions. Sometime I'll release a download of Plagueis that people can have with subtitles, and then they can format the subtitles themselves using VLC or some sort. Start a GoFundMe. I'll go to MegaCon. I'll think about it, Rossi. You know, we could probably start that next month. The GoFundMe to go to MegaCon. You know, I just all I need is I would say around 7. I'm gonna need some money at the con because I'm gonna want to see some people. Just hotel and tickets, and that'd be maybe around $600-$700. I'm trying to get a job right now, so I'm gonna try to, if I get a job, and I don't know how much. I don't know how much hotels are gonna be, but I watched all your episode 1 last night. It was awesome. Yeah. Love TCW, but I do acknowledge it, retconned. Speaking of your Rise of Skywalker movie, did you release the models used for that movie? I don't think I did. Like how you have Palpatine's form bloody in that poster. when I see Filoni nerfed Thrawn. He did. Yeah. Plagueis does. I hope to make it to a con someday. Yeah, you could go a con. It's a great place to. It's a great thing to go to. Really, I think you need to go with friends. That's. It's not. It's kind of not worth it if you go alone. I went to alone last time, and I was kind of no one to talk to, chat. You know, no one to look at stuff with. Hopefully, if I go MegaCon, I'll change. I'll have Rossi and y'all. Nashville was great because there's so many people I knew. So, you are awesome. Thank you, Victoria Sims. I am effed up right now. I have TMJ and now cold. Oh, I hope you're getting better, man. That's sad to hear. Even if you release them as Discord exclusives or Patreon exclusives, would really appreciate you releasing your Trost models crit. Yeah, I'll think about it. All right. Well, would you include Darth Maul Lockdown book events into the Plagueis series? Reach out to Star Wars Sith. He knows all the tips and tricks. He'll hook you up. You know Tony. I've been on his channel. I don't think I've met him. If you ever want to talk, if you ever want to get him and me in the VC call and we'll talk about the details. Because it's pretty cheap to fly to Florida here. It's like only like $200 from Seattle. It's just the hotel part and the ticket part. Another thing is I want money to actually buy stuff. Like the last con I went to, I spent just $100 and I still didn't feel satisfied. I didn't even get to really meet anyone. I met a couple of the voice actors. There's one voice actor in particular from the Clone Wars that wasn't really particularly nice to me over a question I asked, but I really should have met another person who was, open, but it's Tony's specialized trips. And what's a VC call? A VC call is a voice call. In fact, here, I guess I should open up my Discord. Everyone can come into my Discord. I need a moderator. Hold on, invite to newcomers. So everyone can, if everyone has a Discord, they can come in. That's not... There you go. There's a Discord now. We need a Discord mod to revamp it. Since there's a lot of voice actors and a lot of fans in there mixed up, so I'll need to look into that. But yeah, join the Discord. It kind of gets dead, just so people know. Oh wow, we got a lot of people joining in now. Yeah, that's a VC call. It's one of the voice channels. That's what I mean by VC. I don't know that much about Discord. I think I already have you on Discord, Rossi. But I don't know. You're already in here, aren't you, Rossi? I don't think. I think I just have you friended. Here, I'll invite you too. Well, Discord's more than gamers now. It's more of for everyone to use. It's more of a it's kind of a chill. It's the replacement for Skype, in my opinion. It's also a great way to directly interact with my community. Although it can get packed, so I need to find like a moderator or someone to. Just finished watching and wanted to say Darth Plagueis movie or novel is far my favorite. That was actually fantastic. Great work. We will shout. We shall watch your career with great interest. Thank you. Skype. No one uses Skype anymore. They use Discord. Or they don't use TeamSpeak. I used TeamSpeak once. In the future, do you think you can remake the Darth Plagueis series into Unreal Engine, like cinematic captures? As much as people would like to see that, I don't know. Doesn't that ruin the novelty of the Plagueis movie? Machinima, come on. I know people, like, it's just the same with doing, like, AI Unreal stuff. If I took, like, Ian McDermott's face and deepfaked it. I think there's a niche, like, there's a uniqueness to the machinima of the. I don't. Listen, I can't animate, so I can't do shit in Unreal Engine. And I don't think I would want to, because that's not the way I work. If I had the ability to animate and I could, like, take people, like, chess pieces and move them around and stuff, and, you know, I would do that. But right now I like the Plagueis movie as it is, so I'll just stick to that. The only thing I wish I could do is the lip sync and maybe change some of the expressions. That's the only thing I would really want to fix. But I can't fix that. I tried with AI, and AI makes it kind of look weird. It almost looked good, but AI kind of doesn't detect the face a lot. If there is AI available for lips, like proper AI, and I'll probably do that director's cut in the future. They have a Plagueis skin that looks very cool. Yeah, you're talking about the Battlefront model, aren't you? I don't like that look on it. Well, I mean, yeah, it's good, but I like the Plagueis look. I kind of like how Plagueis looks in my own movie, because he's supposed to be like the Black Series figure. That's how he looks in the Black Series. I am using movie duels, yes. When is episode 2 finished? Nihilist, it won't be finished for a couple months, if not next year. But I think next year is too. I think next year is too. I think I can do it in less than. I don't think next year is a possibility. I think it would be more like this winter. More like December. Seems reasonable, depending on my workflow. Yes, Sean Connery. You should check out my fan films. Victoria Sims. Let me check. I want to check your channel. I'm gonna check your channel right now. Oh, you do Sim stuff. I know some people that do some Sim stuff. That's cool. Darth Plagueis Episode 1, better than current Disney Star Wars. Thank you, Jeremy Gamesboy. Okay. Wow. It's been a pretty fun day. I'm loving the response to Plagueis. You all been very kind. We got more Plagueis on the way. Um, the the saga has begun. If I could put that. Yeah, I use the Sims because I don't know how to do animations. I feel ya. I would if I tried to do animations, I would probably um I feel ya. It's just animations. There's so much leeway to it. It just I can't. If I did this in Unreal, it would probably take maybe a year or so, and I kind of want to just get it out. I'm more. It's not my flow. It's not the way I work. How does making the scenes and NPCs do what you need them to do? I control the NPCs sometimes. I put them together and then I use camera angles and stuff. There's a lot of editing techniques to make. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. But if there's any last questions, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. My voice is breaking right now. I've been answering so much questions. Thank you guys for taking the time to like this stuff. Oh, I think I need a drink. I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank especially um Reese. Okay, so Reese, I sent you. Thank you so much for that generous action figure you're sending me. I'm definitely gonna cherish that. Wow. Wow. I also want to thank Solonic. Thank you so much for that donation. Again, that helps me. I don't have any money right now, so you kind of actually anyone that super chatted, thank you so much. This is all non-profit stuff, so for someone to put some extra support and send me some funds to kind of just lift the burden. I am thinking of doing a GoFundMe for the MegaCon. That'll probably be a next month thing. I'll announce it. Uh, it'll be, we could do a watch party at MegaCon of Plagueis, episode 2, if that, so to speak. But thank you all for coming. I want to thank Desco Falco, Victoria Sims, Matt G, Jeremy. This is gonna be long. Jeremy's Game Boys, Rossi, Nihilus, Matt, Lone Elemental Cross, A21 Edits, Reese or Evil Music. Thank you so much for the awesome Plagueis figure. You are the man. That struck me the most because that's not the Plagueis Plaque Series figure is pretty hard to come by. Serious Mutuer, love your voice work. August, get back to me with that music score. We'll talk about it. I'll contact you as well. Oh, thank you, Rossi, for the $10 super chat. Hold on. I'm still reading who is in the chat. Zrek, Matt G, Master Builder. It won't show me the rest of the chat, unfortunately. Okay, last question. How would you feel about rated R Lego Star Wars Blender animation about Revan and Basila, Shan's descendants? I guess. I mean, you do you. I'm not really a big fan of the Old Republic era. So, you do you. That's all I can say about that. So, that'll be very interesting to see. But thank y'all. Just thank everyone else. Oh, Funny Hatter was also in here. I remember. Max Cashnell was in here. Everyone. Devron was here answering questions. CJ, Lunch Tray. Just so everyone that's been here. Just thank y'all for coming. And yeah. The Plagueis has begun. The backstory of Palpatine. We finished episode 1. Episode 2 has begun production today. So, I want to thank everyone for coming. And I want to do my Hulk Hogan voice. Yeah, brother. It's Plagueis Mania time. Oh, okay. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good day, everyone. Sorry. Oh, one last question. Is the dude that made the soundtrack gonna release the whole thing? He is releasing everything. He's releasing everything here. Just sub to his channel. There you go. Alright, back to the exit intro. Now.